show you now how to finish off the head of the spool. What you'll notice is it's got a couple of pieces of tubing already on it, one at the end and one here. This is protecting a knot. With the spools, it's really important that you have a loop at one end that's the right size to pass the spool easily through. What's also important is that you have enough gaps in the sides of the spool to actually pass the line. And that's what this second piece here is doing. It's created a needle for me, which lets me thread very easily through the spool, just making my job slightly easier. What you'll also see with the loop though is that one side is actually longer than the other. And what that means is that it's very easy, especially in gloves, to open this up and pass that through. So I'm just going to show you now how we make that. This is around 2 centimeters. That's going to protect the knot. And this is about 2.5, and that's what I'm going to use to create the needle. It's a smaller piece to protect. That's going to go down first. Now I'll add the second piece. So we need to make a loop that's big enough at one end to pass the spool. And you can see that's easily the right kind of size. I'm now going to create a knot here so that I'm going to create a stopper for when the tube would come to the end. So I just put the second part of the loop through here, and as I slide this up, what you can see is I'll put a second knot around about here. So this here will be my needle, and then the overhand knot that I'm running, I'm just looking to make sure that the pieces aren't overlapped. This one we're going to pull nice and snug so that the tube can go over it, and then we're just going to slide the tube over the knot up to where the stopper is and just shrink that piece over. Now we know that we want to have the hole slightly offset, and we know from placing the spool how big the hole needs to be. You can always readjust this part, this is no big deal. What we're going to do, just check we're happy with this piece, and then we're going to tie the same overhand knot. And with the overhand knot here, same idea, just checking that the pieces aren't overlapped. So before we tighten this up, let's just see if this is big enough to pass the spool through, which it is. So I've got a small piece of excess, which I'm just going to get rid of. Now we're going to take the final piece of tube. We can now hide the knot that's here. That knot's nicely in the middle. Apply some heat, and you can see it's just shrunk around the knot itself. I want the line usually to finish on one end. I don't want it to finish in the middle. And then as I wrap this around, what I want to do is I want to leave about as much line out as roughly the length of the bolt snap. Take the needle, I'll find a hole, and I'll pop it through. And what that does is that just stops the spool from unwinding. So you can see here that I've got more or less the length of the double ender. And then as I come inside, I only need to have those twists to make that work. Just to show you that's now finished and laid out. when I want to come back out, it's easy to use the needle to thread. So my knots are protected, and there we go.